What is going on, guys? It is the Sports Master here, coming at you with one of my prediction videos. If you missed my channel update, you might want to go and check that out. In that, I pretty much explained that I haven't been posting because my editing and recording software kind of just fell apart. So I want to get some better software at Christmas, HD PVR. And until then, I do not have equipment to film and put together sports commentary, so I'm going to do like prediction videos on different things. So you'll probably get videos 3 times a week from me. Fridays you'll get NCAA college football predictions. Saturdays will be NFL predictions and reviews over games that have already happened. And Tuesdays I will review Monday Night Raw for the WWE. So you're going to get that until I can get my stuff back up and running. So make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you can check back at all my videos. So basically the setup for this prediction video is I will go through games that have already happened and a few important games between non-ranked teams, and then I will just dive right in and predict all of the teams that are involving all the games that are involving a top 25 team. So there have been a good bit of football played over the last few days, about 5 or 6 games, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this at you. The Bowling Green Falcons killed the Ohio Bobcats 49-0. Our second game, the Toledo Rockets beat the Buffalo Bulls 51-41. The Kent State Golden Flashes beat Miami of Ohio 24-6. Miami of Ohio is 0-10. Wow. And the number 15 Northern Illinois Huskies beat the Ball State Cardinals 48-27, and the number 8 Clemson Tigers beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 51-31. In Marshallville, the Thundering Herd beat Tulsa Golden Hurricane 45-34. So I'm going to get a few games here between non-ranked teams I think will be big. So the first game comes out from the Big Ten, the Michigan Wolverines and the Northwestern Wildcats. Now, if you were to ask somebody in the beginning of the season, this game could have been a top 10, top 20 matchup. But both of these teams have struggled. Michigan Wolverines are currently 6-3, Northwestern is 4-5. Michigan has struggled, and Northwestern has fallen apart since that Ohio State game. So I think that Michigan's going to be able to pull it off. I'm predicting the Michigan Wolverines to win. Our other unranked matchup is the Maryland Terrapins and the Virginia Tech Hokies. Now, I gotta ask you a question. How is Virginia Tech not ranked after beating Miami last week? I mean, I think that showing was strong enough about beating Miami for Virginia Tech to get in there, but I guess the poll makers don't think as good as me, so I guess Virginia Tech, I'm going with them again. They're going to beat the Maryland Terrapins. And I'm going to do this, an upset alert game, a game that I think could be an upset. It's going to be the Oregon State Beavers and the number 19 Arizona State Sun Devils. Oregon's played good football. Arizona State has been shaky at times. And I think Arizona State is going to win. So we're going to jump right into top 25 action. So the first game is going to be the Indiana Hoosiers and the number 22 Wisconsin Badgers. I think Wisconsin pulls that off. Indiana is not good enough to beat them. Iowa State and Oklahoma, number 18 ranked Oklahoma. UCF Knights and the Temple Owls. I think the Knights will be able to pull this off. The Ohio State Buckeyes, number 3. They have been, I don't know if they're deserving to be number 3 because they have won, but they have not dominated teams. They should get a dominating win over Illinois, but I just don't know if they will be able to. So here's where it gets interesting. The number 23 Miami Hurricanes at 7-2 against the 7-2 Duke Blue Devils. Now, Duke has been very surprising this year. Most of the people think it's just a basketball school, but they have proved that they can play football as well. They're playing great football, but I think Miami is going to be able to rebound from that Virginia Tech loss and win a very tight, a very close game, but a win nonetheless over the Duke Blue Devils. Here's another interesting game. The number 16 Michigan State Spartans versus the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Now, I remember a few weeks ago watching that Nebraska-Minnesota game, And I think that really took a lot out of Nebraska and their morale. They were trying to get, possible BCS bowl, being 8-1, and if they had been able to pull that game out, there'd be no question that they would be in the top 25, and they would be 8-1 along Michigan State. Michigan State has had great defense. They've been able to shut down good offenses. They've been able to shut down mobile quarterbacks like Devin Gardner. Taylor Martinez is another mobile quarterback, and I believe they're going to be able to shut him down. So I'm predicting Michigan State. Now, top 20 of both teams' top 25. Oklahoma State Cowboys, number 12 against the Texas Longhorns, number 24. Now, I think this could be an interesting game as Texas, after firing their defensive coordinator, they had played some good football. But I just don't think they're good enough to play Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State has really gone up there in the last few years and become a solid school. Texas seems like on the downfall. I mean, I think their head coaching is unstable. They're already trying to get Nick Saban when they have arguably, the second most prestigious coach, if you look at history, that are currently in there, maybe with Mac Brown, though that is certainly debated. But I was thinking about almost doing this for an upset, but I think Oklahoma State's going to be able to get the win. Florida State Seminoles, number 2 against Syracuse Orange. Syracuse is pretty good, but, I mean, come on, is it even a question anymore with Florida State? Florida State gets a dominating win. Utah Utes versus the number 6 Oregon Ducks. Utah, they played some good football. They are 4-5, but, they upset Stanford, and, of course, Stanford beat Oregon. But I think Oregon's going to be focused off that loss for Stanford, and I think they're just going to be more focused, and Oregon's going to get the win pretty dominatingly, I think. South Carolina Gamecocks, number 10 against the Florida Gators. Now, Florida, they're hurt. I heard that they're starting their third-string quarterback. And against South Carolina and Jadeveon Clowney, that's just not going to be enough. I mean, I don't even know if they could win with Jeff Driscoll in there, nevertheless, their third-string quarterback. So, I think South Carolina's going to get a pretty dominating win. Texas Tech Red Raiders and the Baylor Bears. Baylor has played some dominating football. They're almost like the new Oregon, as they call them. Texas Tech, they had that great start out 7-0, but have lost 3 straight games. I just don't think they're going to be good enough to beat Baylor on the road, so I think Baylor's going to win. But it's going to be a fairly close game. The Louisville Cardinals, number 20, against the Houston Cougars. As we saw, Houston, even though they're not ranked, they are pretty good. But I think Louisville is going to be able to take care of them. It's not going to be a blowout by any means, but Louisville's going to get the win. Number 1, Alabama Crimson Tide versus the Mississippi State Bulldogs. I mean, Alabama, duh. Stanford Cardinal, number 4, versus the unranked USC Trojans. This will be kind of interesting. Stanford came off that big win against Oregon. They don't need to get too cocky. USC, ever since firing Lane Kiffin, their new head coach has been able, they've really refocused and have had a great season under him since they let Lane Kiffin go. But I don't think that's going to be enough. I think Stanford's going to be out there, be good, maybe try to use that power defense or that power rush offense. I don't even know what I was thinking. Stanford's going to get the win over USC. And so the last game I'm going to cover here is arguably the biggest game of the week. Not arguably, it is. But Georgia, number 25 versus number 7 Auburn. And this is kind of weird for me as I know some Georgia Bulldog fans and I know a few Auburn fans. And they've really been kind of talking smack to each other. If you would have asked me about this at the beginning of the year, I thought Georgia could take care of them handily. But, if there are injuries and stuff and the play of Nick Marshall and Trey Mason, I'm going to have to go by just a hair with Auburn. I think it's going to be a very close game, maybe a field goal, a touchdown. Neither team's going to be able to pull away, but I think that Auburn's healthiness is going to be able to overcome it. So, guys, put in what you think in the comments. Put in what you think I'm right about, what you think I'm wrong about, other games that you want me to do. If you like this format, check back tomorrow as I should be able to put up some NFL prediction videos. But anyway, guys, please like, comment, subscribe. Check back to my other videos. The Sports Master is out. Peace, guys.